I know a social media chaplain. I think that's what he calls himself. Actually, he's a real chaplain also. And I don't know if his title is self designated or not, but I like the idea of a social media chaplain. He writes 300 words a day, literally, and that's also the name of his blog. And he posts them all over social media. So shout out to John Swanson if you're watching. I'm stealing your title today. But I was doing some reading yesterday and realized that we're going to need more than one social media chaplain. There's a lot of people engaged in this thing called the interwebs, and we need more than one social media chaplain. So I'm going to submit my application today to be yours. You might not know John, but if you're watching this, you know me. So I'm volunteering to be your social media chaplain. I want to help you navigate social media wisely. I want to help you understand it, interact with it, and hopefully in the long run we could reconstruct it and use it in a better way, best way possible. And of course, the best way to use social media is, of course, for the jokes. And I have a very good sampling of jokes for you today. Why did the Cyclops have to shut down his school? And maybe you figured it out. He only had one pupil. Mm-hmm. And then also I had to return my sweater because it had too much static, but they gave me another one free of charge. Oh, these are just classics. I'm kind of sad that I'm going to waste all four of these really good jokes in one day. Then I won't have anything for other days. But thanks for hanging in there. And if you're definitely getting your money's worth today. So since this is free, especially, I think I've used this one before. I was told that being a cashier is harder than it looks, and after trying it for a week, this checks out. So. My dog swallowed a whole bag of Scrabble tiles, so we took him to the vet to get him checked out, and no word yet. And some of you are really just now that's sinking into you. Anyway, this one is a thinker. You have to know a little bit of history anyway. If a Tesla gets stolen, is it then known as an Edison? So look up the relationship between Tesla and Edison if you don't get that joke. Anyway, I've been considering for a while now, as your social media chaplain, to regularly post on Monday mornings some upbeat music just to get us going for the week for your social media feed. I've started a list. It's not very long, but if you have a song, that just really, it's an upbeat tempo, to get people in gear and going on Monday morning, go ahead and post those in the comments and I'll add them to the list and maybe we'll use those someday. But I put one song. I know I've posted before on my own feed. I put it in the post information today, along with the link to John's blog, the 300 words a day, which is always pretty intriguing for such a short piece. It's valuable. So anyway, I also want to start this new endeavor of the social media chaplain by revisiting a theme that I've hit at least once before. I know I touched on it back in October 14th of 2020. I had to look them up because I wanted to be able to tell you where to go watch them. January 12th, 2020. But there are, and here was the basic idea. There are some places on social media, and Twitter probably in particular, that seem particularly toxic and hostile, and just lead to people to say some really mean things. And I mentioned in those previous videos that that's not necessarily true, because what you are witnessing is that the people who are the most extreme are also the most vocal. And those who are more reasonable, more peaceful and calm, which is most of us, in those occasions we just quietly exit the conversation when it becomes too hostile. That's probably true of you. And that leaves the forum, the social media platform, whatever it may be, to the really angry, yelly people. And so the reading that I was doing yesterday suggests that those who are the most controversial, they interact that way in order to build their brand and their platform. They realize that controversial and hostile posts really get attention, and that's how they build their platform. So I wanted to mention this article. It's a really long read. I also put this in the post information for you today, but it's called "Why the Past 10 Years of American Life Have Been Uniquely Stupid." It's by a guy named Jonathan Haidt in the Atlantic. I think that's how you say his name. And it's a long read, but it's a good one. And I have a lot of quotes that we're going to probably dig into in the coming weeks. But here's a quote from that article related to what I've been talking about today. He's talking about Facebook. He says, shortly after its like button began to produce data about what best engaged its users, Facebook developed algorithms to bring each user the content most likely to generate a like or some other interaction, eventually including the share as well. And that's why we ask you to like and share, because it goes farther, right? It says later research showed that posts that trigger emotions, especially anger, are the most likely to be shared, right? So Facebook has itself created algorithms that not regenerate, but that's another part of the article. But it most likely shares articles that are going to get people to interact with them. So things that are controversial and get people's attention. So that probably explains why there are so few likes for these videos, right? I'm calm and reasonable. I don't yell at people. And I'm willing to listen to other viewpoints. So maybe if I went exactly the opposite way, we'd be a media sensation. I am thinking those of you who do watch anyway. So as your social media chaplain, your new social media chaplain, here's what I want you to know today. You may have already known that and realized this because I've said it before, but you need to remember that. It's very important that you realize that these algorithms promote extreme voices. And the world and the people in it are not as bad as social media may make it seem. So I'm really speaking to your mental health today. Don't be overwhelmed by the vitriol, which is another word you might want to look up, that you see in the world around us. And I'm going to come back to some other very important facts from that article, but that's enough for today. It's easy to get caught up in the fighting and the controversy and the scandal that we see on a daily basis. So it's important for you to retain your sanity, your perspective, your humility, and your testimony through other means. And as your social media chaplain, I want to help you do that. So I want to give you this verse, Ephesians 5, 2 verses, 15 through 17, 3 verses. Paul writes, so be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Don't act thoughtlessly, but understand what the Lord wants you to do. And that's really going to be our theme as I engage in this new endeavor of your social media chaplain. That's what I want to help you do. I want to give you some info, some perspective, help you make wise choices, and listen to encouraging voices. So what I'm asking you to do today is share your tool, your place, your go-to for helpful information. Share with us what has been helpful to you when you need that break from social media. Maybe it's a social media fast. Maybe regular you're fueling up in a different place of good news and hostility, or excuse me, positivity, not hostility. So if you have something like that, share with us where you're getting it in the comments, because we'd all love to do that. So today I've given you a positive start to your week, some good information about understanding why social media looks like it does, and a couple verses of scripture to give us some guidance. So may God bless you today, and don't forget to give us your comments, your likes, and your sources of encouraging info. And join in on the fun. Give us your fun songs as well. We'll see you soon.